Of course, who you've seen there in picture, Dennis Bloem, spokesperson for COPE, following what is a turbulent time really for the organization. They announced earlier in the day a suspension of the party leader, Mosiuoa Lekota, following a national committee meeting held yesterday. It discussed various issues affecting the organization. Now, it seems that the COPE has decided that Lekota is barred from taking part in all party activities, as you heard, due to the divisive role he's playing. Well, tonight now reports that Lekota himself has suspended some of those who were behind his own suspension. COPE Acting General Secretary Mzwandile Hleko is one of those that has now also been suspended. Mr. Hleko, good evening. What is going on in your organization?
Good evening, Sis Kathy and the viewers at home. Thank you very much for inviting us. What is happening in COPE is that we are building the party. We are trying to correct wrong things that have happened in the past, and we are trying to prepare ourselves for the 2024 elections. And this is the year of provincial congresses that we are going to embark on, and also the National Congress next year. Now, you will expect that when is that silly season, you will have people who are in power sometimes who don't want to relinquish power. They will do everything, because the person that we are talking about, which is Lekota, is his last term. Next year we are going to a Congress. He cannot stand again based on the Constitution, but he will try everything, because previously he has done these things to other leaders who were there before us. He's doing it again now. And he's working on dividing the party, making sure that there are certain groups that support him, as much as he has participated in a number of programs that we have embarked in reviving the party. He participated moving around the whole country with us, building structures of the party, interim structures. But because he suspects that things are not going to be in his favor, he is trying to say he does not know those people anymore, and is bringing other people whom he said they were not fit to be in office, and replace them when we're doing this road shows moving around the provinces. That is what is happening. He's having his own favorites, of course, that he don't want to touch, because he moved with us in all the provinces in the country, except Gauteng and Limpopo, when we were supposed to do the same thing in Gauteng, because he's having his friends, he made it a point that we are not able to do that. And he stopped everything that we were doing, because he didn't want to touch the leadership of Gauteng.
So ultimately, it's ending in what, or playing itself out in what is seemingly a bitter leadership dispute. I mean, an organization like COPE that really doesn't hold a big sway of the numbers. Can you afford such internal fights? And when it comes to what is happening now, including the suspension of yourself, and we understand that of Dennis Bloem and Willie Madisha, have you been informed of these suspensions?
As far as we are concerned, we are not suspended, because the meeting of friends that meet in Bloemfontein, led by Lekota, you can check, he didn't make a quorum. Senior leaders of the party were not there. When you convene a meeting of the CNC, the CEC, which is the administrative body in between the CNCs, must prepare for that meeting. And it must come up with a budget, it must come up with a draft agenda, and notify everybody. What happened? That Lekota wrote a letter inviting people, and it's not his responsibility, by the way, but he did that and invited people. When these people were supposed to come, we picked it up that these are not CNC members. So the real CNC members were not invited. And I phoned him, I spoke to him, even on Thursday, as the meeting was going to take place on Saturday. He even promised that he's going to postpone the meeting, because I said to him, we need to sit down, arrange this, because it's dividing the party into two if he continue with what he was going to do. But later he decided to come back and say, no, he's going to continue with the meeting. So we're running an organization that is run by a collective leadership, not by an individual. This is not a firm. This is not a private company where you just decide to do. If you need a private company, you don't do that.
So then, Mr. Hleko, based on your own account of what's been happening over the last couple of weeks, that's played itself out as you've described as Mr. Lekota trying to hang on to power, COPE is not in the process of rebuilding itself. If anything, you could be facing a very bitter split.
Well, Kathy, it's unfortunate that you have someone who have decided that if he goes down, the party must go down. Because we spoke to him, we warned him, and we told him that what he is doing is dividing the party. We have worked for this party. Some of us were there from the inception. We can't just allow one man to do as he wishes. And the things that made us to fight previously, raising issues of corruption, we said we're the defenders of the constitution of the country, including the COPE one. Therefore, there's no one man who's above to everyone. Even if you are a president, you operate within a constitution with the collective. What he has used to do previously is not going to succeed now.
All right.
And you can see that the meeting that was on Saturday, it was attended by all the provinces, which he himself was part when we were establishing those structures. They were there, all the CNC members, except two, which is him and Delwa.
Dr. Hleko, we'll leave it there for tonight. COPE Acting General Secretary, who according to the suspended party leader has now also been suspended. Who exactly remains in the leadership of COPE then tonight? I suppose that will be one of the big questions.